Tuesday evening, 1984. You're sitting cross-legged on an itchy brown carpet, the telly flickering in the corner, and there's a rustling sound coming from the kitchen that makes your whole body go alert. Because you know that sound. That's the sound of a bag being opened. And in the 1980s, that sound meant something. It meant your mum or your dad had been to the shops. And if you were lucky, really lucky, something extraordinary was about to land in your lap. British snacks in the 1980s weren't just food. They were events. They were rewards. They were the entire reason you sat through a boring car journey without complaining. You might have forgotten half of what's on this list. But the second I mention them, I promise they will come straight back. The smell, the texture, the exact sound of the wrapper. It's all still in there, buried under decades of mortgages and Monday mornings. So let's go back, right back, because some of these are gone forever, and a few of them really are going to hurt. Number 1, Spira. That twisted chocolate finger with the hollow center you could drink your tea through when nobody was looking. Cadbury launched it in 1986, and it became instantly legendary. Not just because it tasted incredible, but because it had a purpose, a mission. You weren't just eating chocolate, you were engineering something. And then, one day, it just wasn't on the shelf anymore. But number 2 on this list also vanished without warning, and this one will take you straight back to the school tuck shop. Number 2, Cabana Bar, coconut, cherry, caramel, all wrapped in milk chocolate. Rowntree made it, and it was exotic in a way that felt genuinely exciting for a kid in 1983. That chewy coconut center was unlike anything else on the shelf. People argued about whether they liked it. Nobody was neutral about Cabana. Gone by the late 80s. Just gone. And speaking of things that disappeared far too soon, number 3, Trio. The biscuit, the chocolate, the caramel, all in one gloriously thick finger. It even had its own song on the telly. You probably still remember the jingle. That was clever marketing, yes, but it was also just a genuinely brilliant biscuit. Layers of proper flavor, nothing watery about it. Trio was serious business, and anyone who ate one in 1985 knows exactly what I mean. Number 4, Texan Bar, chewy toffee and peanuts wrapped in chocolate, and it came with a cowboy on the wrapper. The slogan was, "Sure is a mighty chew." And they weren't wrong. That bar required commitment. Your jaw knew it had done a shift when you finished a Texan bar. Discontinued in 1984, a genuine tragedy in the biscuit aisle. Number 5, Fry's 5 Centers, 5 different fondant flavors inside one bar. Orange, lime, strawberry, raspberry, and pineapple, all sitting side by side in dark chocolate. Each piece was a little surprise. You never quite knew which flavor was coming. Still technically available today, in very limited form. But the 1980s version felt different. It felt like proper magic. Number 6, Pacers, spearmint and peppermint sweets in a chewy square, wrapped individually like little gifts. That hit of mint was sharp and clean and absolutely perfect. Rowntree made them, and they were everywhere for a while. Then they weren't. Every Christmas, someone mentions Pacers in a group chat, and the nostalgia comes flooding in like it never left. Number 7, Opal Fruits, now called Starburst, yes, but they were not Opal Fruits. The name change happened in 1998, and nobody asked for it. Nobody wanted it. The wrapper was different. The flavors felt different. Made to make your mouth water. That was the slogan. And it did. The strawberry one especially. There are people reading this right now who still call them Opal Fruits and always will. Number 8, Frazzles. Still here. Technically. But the Frazzles of the 1980s had a different intensity about them. That artificial bacon flavor was extreme. It hit you before the bag was even open. Crinkle cut, unnaturally orange, and absolutely devastating in the best possible way. A 10-pence bag lasted about 40 seconds. You know it's true. Number 9. Monster Munch. Pickled onion flavor specifically. Those enormous claw-shaped crisps that were so light they almost dissolved on your tongue before the flavor exploded. The bags were bigger then. Or perhaps we were just smaller. Either way, they felt enormous and the smell was absolutely outrageous, and that was the whole point. Number 10. Smith's Crisp with the little blue salt sachet. You had to shake that tiny blue bag of salt yourself and mix it in. This was participation snacking. You were involved in the process. Smith's handed you responsibility and you took it seriously. Modern crisps come pre-salted and nobody asks your opinion. Not the same. Not even close. Number 11. Wham bars. Fluorescent pink. Tooth-destroyingly chewy. Covered in tiny sour sugar crystals that fizzed against your tongue. A Wham bar was not a snack. It was an experience. Your jaw ached. Your tongue went temporarily numb. You were different afterwards. Still available today in some corner shops, but finding one feels like archaeology. And number 12 was sold right next to it on every tuck shop counter. Number 12. Refreshers. The flat fizzy chews in lemon and strawberry. That chalky outside gave way to something sharp and sweet and completely addictive. Tuppence each. In today's money, that's about 25 pence. Even now that feels like a bargain for something that good. You could fit 3 in your mouth at once. Some of you definitely did. Number 13. Frosty's Ice Pops. Not the cereal. The frozen lollies. Long, thin plastic tubes of flavored ice. You bit the corner off and sucked until your lips went numb and changed color. There was no lolly stick, no wrapper to struggle with, just frozen sugar in a plastic sleeve. They were essentially nothing. And yet nothing has ever tasted quite like them since. Number 14. Funny Feet. The ice cream in the shape of a foot with pink bubblegum toes. Walls made them, and they were a genuine occasion. Strawberry-flavored, slightly rubbery texture around the bubblegum bits, and absolutely impossible to eat without inspecting every toe first. A funny feet on a hot Wednesday afternoon was the entire point of summer. Number 15. Haunted House Lollipop. A hard toffee lolly shaped like a little ghost house with a flavor that was somehow both fruit and mystery at the same time. Nobody could explain it. Everyone loved it. It stained your fingers. It lasted ages. The wrapper had a cartoon on it that deserved more attention than any cartoon on any wrapper before or since. Number 16. Crispy Pancakes by Findus. Not a sweet snack, but absolutely a snack. That thin, crispy shell with the molten cheese and ham filling that burned the roof of your mouth every single time without fail. You knew it was going to burn. You did it anyway. The packaging had a picture of a perfect crispy pancake on the front that looked nothing like what came out of the oven. You didn't care. Nobody cared. Number 17. Biker's Crisps. Square crisps. Simple, cheap, and absolutely massive bags for not much money. The flavors were basic, but the crunch was legendary. Sometimes a snack doesn't need to be complicated. Sometimes it just needs to be there, in your hand, on a Saturday afternoon. With the wrestling on the telly, bikers understood that assignment completely. Number 18. Toffo. Individual toffees wrapped in a roll. That waxy paper. The satisfying peel. Toffo came in plain toffee and also fruit flavors, and you'd work through an entire roll during a single film at the pictures. Your teeth were in genuine danger and everyone knew it. Worth every risk. Number 19. Dip Dab. A lollipop and a bag of sherbet. You licked the lolly, dipped it in the sherbet, and then debated whether to just pour the sherbet directly into your mouth. Most of you made the right decision. That fizz at the back of the throat was extraordinary. Dip Dab was technically two snacks pretending to be one, and we respected the hustle. Number 20. Fizzy cola bottles. Yes, technically still around, but the 1980s versions from the penny tray at the corner shop had a different weight to them. They were stickier, more intensely flavored. You bought them individually for 1 penny each, and you arranged them by color in your palm like a proper professional before eating. This was serious work. Number 21. Banshee Bones. Cheese-flavored corn puffs in the shape of bones. Orange, loud, absolutely punishing on the inside of your mouth if you ate too many. They came in a small bag that somehow contained more pieces than seemed physically possible. The flavor was artificial cheese at its most confident. No apologies. Full commitment. Banshee Bones didn't care what you thought. Number 22. Golden Nugget Cereal. Now technically a breakfast food, yes, but you ate them dry from the box as a snack, and you know you did. Honey-flavored corn pieces shaped like little gold nuggets with a cowboy on the box. The crunch was perfect. The sweetness was enormous. Eating them for breakfast felt like starting the day with pudding, and nobody stopped you. Number 23. Cadbury Aztec Bar. Chocolate, caramel, and nougat. Launched in 1967, but very much part of the 1980s childhood experience before it was discontinued in 1978, then briefly brought back. If you caught the relaunch, you knew exactly how special it was. This was the bar that started rumors. Have you seen them bring back the Aztec? Spread through a classroom faster than anything a teacher ever said. Number 24. Rowntree's Jelly Tots. Those tiny, jewel-bright sugar-coated jelly sweets that came in a little tube. You rationed them. You organized them by color. You ate the ones you liked least first to save the best for the end. And then you tipped the tube up and let the last few tumble into your palm and felt briefly like the richest person alive. If you weren't there, nobody alive can truly explain what that felt like. You either know it or you don't. Number 25. The Fab Lolly. Strawberry ice cream, chocolate coating, and hundreds and thousands on the end. Walls. Iconic. That crunch of the chocolate shell giving way to the cold strawberry inside, and then the little burst of color at the bottom. The Fab was the one you hoped was in the freezer box when the ice cream van arrived. The one you pointed at with absolute certainty. The one that somehow tasted like the whole summer in a single lolly. Long pause. We didn't know we were living through something special, did we? We thought it was just Tuesday, just a bag of crisps, just a sweet from the corner shop that cost a penny and lasted 5 minutes. We didn't know that decades later we'd close our eyes and still be able to smell the inside of that sweet shop, still hear the rustle of that wrapper, still feel the exact weight of a Wham bar in a small hand. These weren't just snacks. They were the texture of childhood itself, the whole sensory world of being young in Britain before everything got faster and louder and more disposable. This was something that belonged to us, properly ours, and some of it is gone now. Really gone, not coming back, and nobody asked us if that was all right. Pause. We were lucky, every single one of us who got to reach into one of those bags. We were incredibly, quietly lucky. Long pause. Some things taste better in memory than they ever did in reality, and some things were exactly as good as you remember. Right then. Thank you so much for watching this one. If this video unlocked a memory you hadn't thought about in years, I'd love to know which snack did it. Drop it in the comments below because those comments are genuinely the best part of making these videos. If you grew up in Britain in the 80s, share this with someone who was right there with you. they'll thank you for it. And if you haven't subscribed yet, do consider it, because there is plenty more of this coming. See you in the next one.